So today we are going to be reviewing a film what I personally call It Ends With Us. This is that film which is from that book, um, starring Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, I've never heard of him, Jenny Slate, I don't know her, Hassan Minhaj, I've probably mispronounced that, but I have heard of him. And then, of course, Brendan Sklena. And it's directed by Justin Baldoni, one of the actors. He casted himself as a very, very, very interesting character. So, what is this film about? I guess it is a film about a woman who meets a guy. She's got a past. Her dad used to beat up her mum. It's a classic love story, really, and it just explores very interesting topics about abuse, about relationships, and yeah, I've got some interesting thoughts about this film. Honestly, number one, Blake Lively, very beautiful, very great actress, um, and so I saw this film. I saw this film twice actually. The first time I saw it, I gave it like a low score, very low. I was like, this is like a four. This is not. I don't feel realistic. It feels a bit like a Nicholas Sparks film, and there's anything wrong with Nicholas Sparks films, but they're just not very good. So I was like, yeah, the dialogue's a bit cringy. It's not. Doesn't feel normal. People don't talk to each other like this, and just it feels contrived. It feels sort of airbrushed out. I don't know. It just feels too beautiful. I can't explain the sort of shitness of Nicholas Sparks films, but it felt like that. I know it's not a Nicholas Sparks film, but it kind of just felt a bit Magoo, a bit like, I don't know, almost like a daytime film, I guess, like a daytime TV film. And I was like, oh, maybe my nan would like that. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know who. I don't know. But I ruminated on it, and I was like, maybe that film was better than I thought it was, and I'm just not the target audience, right? Because I don't think I am. I mean, men should be the target audience for films like this, to be honest with you, because men need to, step up a bit. But it's like, yeah, it just wasn't made for me. I just don't feel like it was for me. So I was like, maybe it's better than I'm giving it credit for. So I went with my housemate, and she gave it a really, really, really high score. And I was like, well, look, okay, that kind of settles it then. It is a good film. It's just not for me. And maybe it's not as Nicholas Sparksy as I originally thought. So it does do an interesting shift in the middle. And of course, it just explores domestic abuse, domestic violence. It explores that in a way that kind of sneaks up on you, and that's really interesting because I think that must be what the experience of it actually is. Because I mean, I guess there are some people who have been in these relationships from the outset, but I assume you're not going on a first date with a guy and he's beating you up. I assume it comes later on. I assume it builds up and it sneaks up and then excuse upon excuse upon excuse. I assume that's how it happens. So in that aspect, the film kind of sneaks it up on you as well. So in that aspect, I guess it is quite good. I guess it does kind of give you a bit of a revelation. But at the same time, it doesn't hit like a good like twist in a film. I'm not like, what? I'm not like that, but I'm just like, yeah, okay, like that's horrible. That's a really horrible thing to see. That's a horrible person, and the director plays the horrible person. He gives it some shades of grey here and there, but in the end, he's a horrible person. And people who hit anyone, but especially people that are supposed to feel safe around you, are just the most despicable people in the world, right? I can't forgive them. I feel really hard forgiving people like that. But I have another thought about this film as well, and this is probably from me sitting down and not enjoying the film that much because it's not for me, and because I'm not enjoying it, I'm nitpicking at things, right? And I'm nitpicking character traits. And the main character, played by Blake Lively, and another girl who looks just like Blake Lively when she was a kid, um, I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, yeah, of course, inexcusable, inexcusable for the man to do that. But why this character lies all the time? I don't understand. I've always been someone who's just absolutely dumbfounded by people who lie. Like it never seems like a good idea. It always leads to bad things. And throughout this film, she lies. She lies to people around her. She doesn't tell the whole truth. She gives half truths. She even lied, like there's a part, like a flashback, and it's like, man, if you were just honest with your parents about this person who's coming around your house, maybe this wouldn't have happened. And like, what? Why the sneaking around? Why the deceitfulness? Why the lies? And obviously, I'm not saying that had she just been sort of honest and normal throughout the whole film, that she would have avoided all the domestic abuse. Of course, I'm not saying that. The guy has his problem and he should be held accountable. But it's like, don't lie. It's really annoying. And maybe some people think I'm being really harsh on her, but it's just like, tell the truth in situations. Just tell the truth. Be honest. And you're saving yourself. You don't have to remember anything. You're not going to get caught out on anything. The universe around you sort of handles it. Like, no surprises can come out if you're just open and honest. And I know it feels difficult, but I really, on hand on heart, think that lying is bad for everyone involved. You're just ruining it for yourself. You're ruining it for other people, and bad things are going to happen to you. It's going to be bad. It's going to be awkward. The revelations are going to be bad. So just, folks, don't lie. And obviously the biggest sympathies for people out there who have to suffer domestic abuse. That's just the worst thing in the world. And props to this film for being a little bit better than I thought it was. So, I'm not going to say it's as good as my housemate thought it was, but I'm also not going to say it's as bad as I thought it was. I'd say it's somewhere in the middle. So it's a good middly type of film. And, some good performances, some fun performances. I think the dialogue probably lets it down a bit, but I recommend the film. Go and watch it. You should watch it, make your own minds up about it. Great film.